covers to be recalled, returned, or destroyed. Brian.
All right, outrage growing over comments 2020 Democratic hopeful Pete Buttigieg made about our founding fathers, suggesting America erase Thomas Jefferson's name.
Should Jefferson Jackson dinners be renamed everywhere because both were holders of slaves?
I think it's the right thing to do. You know, over time you develop and evolve on the things you choose to honor. And Jefferson's more problematic. You know, there's a lot to, of course, admire in his thinking and his philosophy. It's not like we're blotting him out of the history books. You know, naming something after somebody confers a certain amount of honor.
Right. They don't deserve any honor. Our next guest says this is just another attempt to pander to voters. Joining us right now is James Robbins. He's the author of Erasing America, Losing Our Future by Destroying Our Past. Now, he tried to walk this back a little bit, but on that statement, take it at what he said. We should think twice about the people we honor, should we?
Well, you always have to think about who you're going to honor and how you're going to honor them. It was nice that Mayor Pete pledged not to blow up the Jefferson Memorial. I think he's kind of staking out a middle ground in the Democratic field by saying, you know, with the no detonation pledge. But yeah, in general, we want to pay attention to that, of who we honor and who we don't.
Right. Should we honor Jefferson?
Of course we should honor Jefferson, one of our most important founding fathers, the third president of the United States, author of the Declaration of Independence, and founder of the Democratic Party, which is why they had the Jefferson-Jackson Day dinners to begin with.
Right. Jackson's well, and I have a whole list of things that have been done to Jefferson statues and protests that are taking place for Jackson as well. So yesterday, the mayor was asked about that again by Chris Wallace. He tried to clarify. Let's listen.
But I think there's a reason why Democratic parties, when we're thinking about for the future our events, especially think about how burning of an issue something like racial equity is, we're thinking twice about naming our events after Jefferson and Jackson. Maybe we should name it for a person who's living. Maybe we should name it after a person of color. You would have thought I had proposed blowing up the Jefferson Memorial in D.C.
Do you feel better about his comments?
Well, I think so. The way it was originally reported, it was as though he wanted to have Jefferson stricken from the history books. So it is better that that's not what he wants. But nevertheless, it shows how radical the Democratic base has become, that this is what constitutes pandering to them.
So what's the danger of erasing our past? Slavery is abhorrent. It's inexcusable. You can't even wrap your head around how these smart people can justify it. I get it. But what's the danger of taking Washington down, Jefferson down, and diminishing Jackson?
Well, I think the danger is that if we have a narrative for this country that is based on shame and looking at all the negatives and not looking at all the positive aspects of American history, then there's no reason for people to be loyal to this country. Why should they love a country that was founded on all of these evils if that's all they want to focus on? And also, it's ahistorical to ignore all of the positive aspects of American history and just focus in on all the negatives.
If we have perfect people on statues, we'll be a nation of pedestals. There'll be no one left. James Robbins, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, straight ahead. A new study says